Okay. Well, no, I couldn't have done it on StreamYard because I don't have this video on my phone, so you don't need an intro anyways. So good morning. I don't know how long it'll take for notifications to go out. I know I'm usually a little bit earlier than normal. So anyways, we'll let some people come in here. There's a notification. All right. And I know, like I said, I'm earlier than normal. So let's turn this down. Don, what's up, man? You're the first one in here. So, as you guys look at the thumbnail, that's the car that brought me here. So, very zippy, more than I'm used to. Well, my F-150 can be kind of zippy, but it's a lighter vehicle, so. Good morning. Yeah, it's early. You know, this is my third Mid-America Truck Show, and second one with the hotel and driving around. So I want to get in early because I have a vendor pass, so I can get in early. And I'm gonna get there super early so I can find the right spot. Because last year I went in the wrong side of the building. I had to pay for parking because I didn't have my vendor pass and the whole 9 yards. So we're trying to save some money, but I mean it's an investment. It's a business trip. I mean it's cost me a little bit with the rental car and everything, but Thunder Funding is pretty much I'm wearing their shirt. Is pretty much been paying for food and drink in hotels. So I mean you can't ask for that. You can't ask for any more than that because that's completely awesome. And so it allows me some perks like getting in early, and that kind of thing. So Thursday, if you guys don't know, Thursday is the day that you go in early if you got VIP passes. But I want to get there super early. I might go live on the small channel as I kill time because what is it? 7 o'clock now Eastern, and that's the other thing. I forgot because I haven't been down here since last year that I forgot that that Louisville is in East Coast time. Indiana's kind of weird. Like if you're going down 70, as soon as you hit the Indiana line, boom, you're in Eastern time zone. But if you go, I think Evansville is Central. Like they're part, like Indiana, it's a zigzag line. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, so I'm here at the hotel, and I don't sleep well at hotels. I mean, I barely got my, if you have a CPAP, for those of you in the future that might need one, you need to show 4 hours a night for compliance. And I think I got 4.5 hours of sleep last night. But that's it's a strange place. The bed's firm. But I ate way too much, and that's that made it hard to sleep. So we went to this Brazilian. We read the comments here. I'll get to the comments here in a second. We ate this Brazilian place where they bring the meat to you. It's a carnivore stream, right? And I kind of overdid it. So, but anyways, but that's what you do at buffets, right? So I have, look, those of you who see me, you're going to see that I've gained a little bit of weight. I think out of the 120 pounds, I've gained like 30 of it back. And I think it's because of drinking alcohol. I've been having a beer on the weekends. I think, a couple of beers on the weekends. And then I'm eating too often. I'm eating too much. And so this past 2 weeks, I've been getting into the fasting routine. And I've downloaded an app, and I'm back to using MCT oil, and it's been good. I didn't bring it with me, of course, but this stuff's hard to travel because it gets all greasy and oily and all that. And I've been feeling good, but yesterday was probably the most amount of food I've ate in one sitting in like weeks. So, um, and in the keto cheats are bread and alcohol. I had a couple of beers last night. Um, you know, and it's nice because here I'll show you guys. There's so that's all walking, right? We're all walking within distance. It's all walking. So it's like a pub crawl atmosphere down there. Lots of good restaurants. And last year there was hardly anything open, but this year everything's open. There's a Dunkin' Donuts downstairs if I want Dunkin' Donuts coffee, and I can just walk over instead of having to rely on the Starbucks. And yeah, I know. But I was smart this year. I brought Folgers, with the thing, and I know it's going without coffee for 30 days, and this marks the 30th day. So I started yesterday actually, but that's kind of that's not important. You guys don't want to hear about that. So I'm looking forward to the show, but I'm also curious of how the atmosphere is going to be, because look, a lot of businesses are struggling right now. A lot of trucking businesses are struggling, and there's going to be more people. There's going to be more predatory leasing. Like I heard a story the other day about a guy left his job as a contractor somewhere, and he parked the truck, and then they told him he abandoned it, and the guy probably won't see his last paycheck. And if you're in a lease program where if you decide to walk away from the lease and they want to charge you for the truck until they sell it, that's not good either. I mean, if you're the carrier doing a lease purchase, you should be taking some of that risk, right? And so, and what it does is it forces a person to stay where they're at because they can't afford to move. So you want to avoid, and there's a lot more of that going on. So it'll be interesting to see what the recruiting. I think recruiting is going to be heavy on owner operators. Like people want you to sell your truck and go work for them. And I think that people with contract freight is going to get a bit of reality this year, because cycles always say that contract rates go down. When spot gets cheap enough, they want to move it with the spot. So it's a vicious cycle. And so since we're in the lowest part of this cycle, it'll be interesting to see what the atmosphere is like. I've been to a truck, I've been at GATS when there was a down cycle, and you can kind of tell with the manufacturers and the scammer type, like snake oil salesmen, they're through the roof, and the manufacturers have cut back on their booth cost, and they're only sending one person with one display instead of a whole team. It's a whole thing. So I'm curious to see what it's like. I'm looking forward to seeing quite a few people. Pale Rider and I talked on the phone last night. He went live from his Airbnb, and he's ready to go. He's ready to rock. He's ready to rock this truck show. And so am I. It's like, yeah. I mean, I always find time to get away from my duties and go walk around the show and shake hands with people. We'll be pretty easy to spot. And Thunder Funding, 123 Low Board, and it'll be cool. It'll be awesome. And that's the other thing. During dinner, we were discussing, the future of both Jeff and I's channels, the future of Thunder, the future of 123, and ideas. I believe Lauren is starting a podcast, I mean, that seems to be a great way to advertise without all the fluff, as podcast and YouTube advocates and stuff like that. So, all right, let's do some shout outs, shall we? You guys have come in here. Got the second phone here, so that's why I'm looking down. Don Schonger, good morning. CB, what's up? Morning Hotel Hermit, LOL. Hope you have a blast. Early Riser, good morning. Cattle Hauling, good morning. Tennessee Trucking, morning, sir. Flatbed Trucker, morning. Smooth Trucking, Steve-O. Pale Rider says he's heading over early also. Alfalfa, morning, y'all, from Salt Lake City. Desert Okie Pam, morning, Snorelord. Pale Rider, get with me if you haven't ordered your Uber yet, because I'll call you after this live stream and I might just come pick you up, because if I can save you a little bit of money. And you said you're only a mile or something from unless you just want to go in an Uber, then, that's fine. Alfalfa, Salt Lake City. That sounds like a fun place. Desert Okie Pam, good morning. Nothing Witty's in the house. Morning, I'm late. You're not late, I'm early. There's a difference. Meet up with James Best for a Jello wrestling match in your thong undies. All these manly truckers would pay to watch that. I'm interested in the people that would pay to not see that. So, yeah, I'm not doing that. Fate Trucking has DIY semi put his pants back on yet and running through the quad. Give that man a White Claw and the wheels fall off. Really? White Claw? Is DIY a White Claw guy? Justin Martin, howdy, man. See you at the show. Excellent. Music City Transport, good morning. Pale Rider says, okay, call me. I seen that Super Trucker Dan is at the truck show. I'm not as familiar with him as I mean, I recognize the name, but there's quite a few truck drivers I have not. I'm subscribed to, but I mean, you guys got to understand that my notifications on YouTube are through the roof on both phones. I tend to keep the business phone more like health and guitar related, and then this one's all over the place. It's got some pew pew stuff, and it's got some news type stuff. Some might say, I'm not gonna use the word. And then the trucking stuff, of course, and then the low board and freight, all that kind of stuff. I seen, okay, I already read that. Good morning, everyone. Shannon, good morning. Morning, all have a good time at the show. It's not going to be the same without you, Chucky. It's just not. So, anyways, it'll be good. So the room's better this year. Last year, the carpet was stained and it just, something wasn't right. It was a bigger room, but this is perfect. I was prepared. They give you 2 K-cups. And I'm like, no. So the other thing I noticed was I drove to a Love's to get gas, and they have RV hookups now. I didn't know that. And I usually say this every time I'm in a car traveling, but man, Jeff's got a good story. He said that he came across a driver when they were getting gas at a TA. And they came across this driver that was stumbling drunk and actually went to the fuel line with 2 Budweisers and got in his truck and took off. The amount of people, the amount of truck drivers that veered into my lane, it was astronomical. It's getting worse. And now, another observation I made. So I have a Dodge Charger now. And it's funny. I told the wife, I said, we're going to buy a white or black Charger, preferably a police auction Charger. Because I can't tell you how many times people slammed on their brakes when I got up behind them. Thinking I was a cop. Even though I've got like this odd color, it could be a plain Could be a plain wrapper, But I thought that was funny. I'm like, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a Dodge Charger, and I'm going to put a light bar on it. Like obviously I can't get the red and whites, but I can get the yellows. And so at night I'm going to look like a cop, and people will slam on their brakes for no reason. Guilty conscience. So I do find it really cool that you guys go for the truck show and work on businesses, fake trucking. And I apologize for not reading everybody's. I think I've been reading people's names. That is the purpose of the show for me. I like looking at the Pride and Polish trucks, but I'm not going to probably get my fill of them because Joplin is this year, and that's where I really like to get in and stare at the trucks, and it's about the Pride and Polish stuff. It's about furthering your network, because here's the deal. This is important. Networking, if you're an owner operator, I don't care if you're a lease operator for Prime or for Schneider or a single truck, your own authority, or you're signed on to a carrier like trucking. Networking is important because it allows you to create a circle that will help you succeed. And with the YouTube channel doing pretty good this year, thanks to going live every other day and talking about current market conditions, it's been, I'm really kind of taken off of that. I updated my LinkedIn profile, and I've been talking with a couple of brokers, that want to help me succeed in that arena. The dispatch service, I've gained one truck, and I'll probably be gaining another one next week. And so, which dampers my plans of getting in the truck, but hey, that's fine. And we have a potential at Like Trucking to be bringing on like 2 or 3 other people next week, and there's going to be a big surprise coming up, and I'll just leave it at that for next week. It's going to draw a lot of attention to both Jeff and I, in a good way, maybe. So, and the person in here, they know what we're talking about, but we'll just leave it at that. And so, but it's also cool to see the people that watch, right? It's like there are people that don't comment, they just watch. I remember when I did my video of paying off my truck, there were people that were like, Steve, I've been watching you since Landstar. I never comment, but good on you. I mean, it's pretty cool. This channel's been around since 2014. And then my OG channel's actually been around since 2006. So I am, and again, I'm only at like 4,500. I'd like to get to 5,000 this year on the subscriber, but I'd like to get my views up. And not because I need to make money, it needs to pay my bills, but because I want to help people as much as I need to help myself, hold myself accountable, and because trucking is so volatile. I don't care if you're in contract or spot, it's very volatile. And to see things from a broker's perspective has really been helping me understand the ebbs and flows of this volatile environment that we're in. And the more people you can network, the more people that and the more people that are willing to help you and that you're willing to help them, that's a pretty cool thing. And so if somebody comes up to me and goes, I've had 3 people tell me that they've lost over 100 pounds because of my health videos. And that, I had one person that was literally going through chemo that called me and said, Steve, don't give up your channel, because I was feeling frustrated. And he was like, man, you keep going, man, keep going. Don't let the haters get to you, that kind of thing. And it's cool that, you can go up, like, I'm going to, like, fanboy out with Ken Berry, Saturday morning. I'm going to get there and I'm going to be the first in line. Hopefully he's selling this book because I want to get it. And, who knows? I might be able to meet him, might be able to give him a card, might be able to interview him. That might be cool. So, um, and so it's understanding if people come up to other YouTubers here and look, there's, I think, Just Truckin', Sammy, DIY. I mean, a lot of, Asia Mai, a lot of bigger YouTubers, that make me look like small fry are going to be there. And, there are people that go to every truck show that we only connect at that point. And then there are local friends that go, like Shane from Green Miles, he's usually there. A couple of my broker friends are going to be there. And it allows you to voice your concerns or your opinions to these brokers that are out there. So go up to the CH booth, tell them what you think of their new system. Go up to Alan Lund and say, hey, don't you dare go to a Uber style system. I mean, that's what I did last year. I went and talked to Transfix because I had a really bad experience with them, like my first year in the spot market. And I talked to this guy. He gave me his cell phone. He gave me his LinkedIn. He's like, if you have any more problems with one of my agents, you let me know. And that's the kind of connections you want to make. The recruiters are going to be through the roof. It's going to be crazy. Let me get back to the comments. Gray Dog Logistics heading to the show. See you all there. Cool. Good deal. Yes, trade shows are primarily for advertising and networking. They have always been valuable to me in business. I have went to many of them and not just trucking ones. Shannon always come out with a handful of business cards, right? And that's what we have. We have, like, I'll have a whole ton of business cards for both the YouTube and the Rig Runner. So, and Jeff will be passing out cards and pens for Rig Runner and Like Trucking, because this is kind of a recruiting event for us as well. Jeff wants to get this to, we want to be up to 30 trucks by the end of the year, and I think it's very possible, despite the environment that we're in. So it's all about mindset. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of tough things going on right now, but you know what? If you survive this, it's going to make you stronger. It's going to make you more aware. These people that came out when the rates were sky high, thinking that this was going to be the normal and it wasn't ever going to drop, as significant as it has, they're learning some harsh realities now. And if I can help somebody navigate through that, not that I'm some expert, but I have been through a down market before, a couple of times. Maybe my ideas help. If not, then at least we had a good conversation. And if you tell me the things that you disagree. I don't want people coming up to me and kissing my butt, because I'm nobody special. Tell me I'm a piece of crap if you think I'm a piece of crap. I mean, don't get violent with me. That's probably not suggested, but but not that anything like that would happen at a truck show, but you never know. There's some crazy crap going on in the world right now, so you never know. My name is Nobody. Good morning. And so there's a lot of technology that's breaking. It'll be interesting to see what the engine manufacturers have. Last year they were barely in force. Cummins had like their engine and then a booth, and they were advertising their hats and knives, which their knives look cool. There's going to be a lot of like snake oil, like like things that are designed to make this easier, or save your engine and stuff like that. And I tend to stay away from that kind of thing. So there's like a section of that kind of stuff. There's a section of like a recruiting area, and then there's a section of people selling shirts and selling hats and selling products that are good products. You know, like Road Pro and who else? Blue Tiger, Blue Parrot. You know, all the and all Garmin. You know, they'll have their booth there. SiriusXM will have a booth there with speakers. There's 5 or 6 events relating to negotiating with brokers. There's an educational aspect, and the other thing about networking, right? So, 2 people in the chat were hanging out with each other, and one of them texted me and said, "Hey, um, I got to see this person book a load, and it was interesting to hear how this person, navigated and negotiated and all that stuff." And and it, it may not be your style, but it's something that you can put on your table. And what an up market does is it makes people lazy with their finances. It makes people that normally would not succeed. And you don't have to be a master negotiator. Last year you didn't have to do that. This year you do. And look, you could be the best smoozer of all time and still not get any more money. So we'll be up there tomorrow and Saturday, says Stuart. A lot of ShamWow people. Yeah, ShamWow. That's a good analogy there. Will be way too many insurance agents there. Yeah, I agree with you, Max Force. But that's a big thing. Insurance companies rule this industry, guys. That's the reality. One of the biggest fears I had of getting my own authority was, do great the first year, and then the second year you get popped with double insurance. I've seen it happen. And not having any claims or anything like that. And so if you bring on one other driver in your first 2 years and then they have an accident or it could completely shut you down. You could have a flat tire, pull over to the side of the road, and before you put your triangles out, someone can smack into the back of your truck and you can get sued. So, and why? Because they know the insurance will pay for it. And whether it's hush money or it goes to trial, and by hush money, a lot of trucking companies will offer you, we'll give you $50,000 if you shut the hell up and drop this in court. And people looking for a buck, that's what they'll do. And the next thing you know, your insurance skyrockets. So, it's, because they can. If you're a single truck authority, you don't have very many options for insurance. And it's, I believe they call it a monopoly. So, what time does Snorelord take the stage? SSD. I believe the facility for vendors opens at 10, so I think that's when I'm going to go down there. What time is it now? 7:27 Eastern. So I brought my watch with me. It was kind of pointless. I have to do math every time I look at my watch. But 10 o'clock, so I'll probably leave here about 8, because I don't know what traffic's like. I don't remember how far I am. I don't think I'm too far. I want to say 10 to 12 miles, but I haven't Google Earthed it yet. So I lost all power and light to my truck driving last night a couple of times. I'm at a rest area waiting for a tow. Wow. That sucks. You have there's the other thing Jeff's going to talk about in his next live feed is there was a truck that passed him that was spraying oil all over his truck, all over his car. And he said that guy's probably on the side of the road by now. So that sucks, Don. I hope it gets better. That's the thing with these computerized new trucks, man. I give me a mechanical truck that gets 5 miles to the gallon any day. Unfortunately, that's not it. Well, it's a very difficult way to do business right now with the fuel prices. Yeah, not fun on dark windy road. Yeah, that's no good. All right, guys, you stare at the view while I go put another coffee thing in. Check it out. There it is. Look at that big steeple. I like to see the inside of that church. There's the district, right? So it's blocked off. Last year, I was looking down here at like 3 in the morning because I couldn't sleep, and there was like a homeless dude messing with all the chairs outside. So a lot of these places don't keep their. Well, I mean, I say that, and there's chairs all over the place. But anyways, nice room. Compliments of Thunder Fun. So, but anyways, I'm looking forward to everybody showing up and hanging out, and like I said, it'll be easy to find. I brought a bunch of this with me so I wouldn't have to drink the hotel water. I think it wasn't agreeing with me last year. So okay, so parking, there is, I think there's like a $5 fee, so you're gonna want to have cash on hand, Shannon, and then but there's plenty of parking. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to find the address, and if you want, I could send it to you, and kind of circle the area that you want to be in. And the earlier you can get there, the better. So you're not waiting in long lines to get in. And that's the other reason why I'm going to go a little bit early, because I want to avoid the lines. I hate lines. I hate crowds. So I can kind of, the Mid America Truck Show will have the address on their website. And so if you're in your truck, which I don't think you will be, but if you're in your truck, there is a truck parking area, and they have shuttles that go from the parking area to the entrance. If you're talking about the parking at the hotel, then I will just get with you privately and kind of show you where that's at. I had to pin it because this is funny. So last year, so we're in a parking garage, and it's like $25 a day if you're in and out. It's $12 if you're a guest of the hotel, and it's 20. I think it's like $12 a day if you don't move the car. So, um, so Jeff beat me here last year, And I circled this whole area because obviously Google takes you to the entrance of the hotel. And I didn't recon it enough. Recon is this is what you should be doing with all your customers, especially if you're delivering Walmart stores, right? You want to find out the entrance that you want to go in, right? So I didn't do that because it's a car, not realizing how deep downtown I was going to be in. So Jeff had to literally do this out in the street and be on the cell phone with me so I could find the entrance to the car garage of where you check in and all that. And so last year, what I did is I pinned it on my Google Maps and I saved that spot because I usually don't pin a whole lot of things and save them. And, oh, hold on. Someone's at the door. I forgot to put my do not disturb thing in. So anyways, I put a pin in, and so I know you're not staying at the hotel, so I don't know if you can park there or not. So get with Jeff on those details, because Saturday I'm going to hang out with Ken Berry. So it would have to be pretty early. There is a place here at the hotel that does breakfast, so I'm not sure what that situation is. So you get with us and we'll figure it out, Shannon. Shadow Wolf, what's up? Good morning there. So, other than that, so if you're coming to the show, bring your best walking shoes, bring some ibuprofen, bring some money for food, and preferably a backpack or something. They'll hand you like this bag for the what they call trucker treat, where you go in and people give you pens, and I haven't had to buy a pen in like 5 years since I've been going to truck shows. So got my new copy here. Unless you don't want any of that, I think last year I got 2 or 3 free shirts. Occasionally gave me 1 shirt, and then I got a free hat and maybe a couple of free hats. That's why I've got like 20 hats, because half of them I don't pay for. I don't think I've bought a hat, and the last hat I bought was actually a band. Like the band was selling it, and I bought one of those hats. But so anyways, and just if you got kids, man, they love it. If you got pets, I think we did a whole speech on that. So, but in recon where you want to go in, and just know that it costs to park, I believe. And depending on when you registered, it might cost to get in. So if you registered, you should be good. And you go in through the front entrance. They have a thing where you scan your barcode from your email that you should have gotten. And it gives you your badge and a lanyard and the whole 9 yards. And people can come up to you. It has your name in big letters, and so what it does, and they'll have a QR code. And so these people will walk around with their, like these tablets, and they will scan your card and that's where I screw it with my business cards. I should have done a QR code, but live and learn. And then that and a lot of them will give you the free stuff for letting them scan your card, letting them scan your QR code. So And I believe that there's probably, if I had to guess, less free stuff this year. I think so. In the 123 low board slash Thunder funding booth, we'll be giving away free prizes as well. They do a raffle. They have a spin the wheel thing where you can win prizes. One of them's a fly swatter, so usually there ends up being some kind of sword fight by the end of the day, or someone gets smacked with one. So just be aware. So. Other than that, I think we've been live for 40 minutes. As you can see, the sun's coming out. The weather's supposed to be good today. I think Friday it's supposed to storm. So, but it's to put you on a mailing list, right? And so when you register for mats, hopefully use the burner phone so you'll get in it. Look, I haven't had a whole lot of phone calls really. I don't get a flood of emails after a truck show. They're generally pretty good. But a lot of them will come up to you, hey, how do you dispatch? How do you do this? And I'll be curious to see if there's any dispatch services there this year, because they are being hammered on. The brokers are refusing to work with them a lot of times. And so I've had to adapt around that. We have our broker authority, so we're legal on it, but we also don't handle any money. I'm literally just the guy looking for the load for you. And right now, all but one of my trucks is like trucks, so which is good. Makes it a little bit easier, but they're getting stricter about the emails. They're getting stricter about the apps. My CH guy called me the other day and was like, hey, I noticed so-and-so wasn't tracking. We might want to fix that because it'll help your score. And I said, well, I can give you the ELD tracking, so I don't know what's wrong with this app. And they're like, well, that's cool, but it'll help your score better if we can just do it directly. And that's what they want. They want to do data mining. They want to know where your truck's going to be, so they can utilize that information either for you or against you. They'll be more apt to give you more money if you're in an area where they don't have many trucks, but they got more freight. And so the same things that low boards use, they're using for their own apps. And a lot of these brokers are using apps now. You got to use their app to track. You got to use their app to check in, because they want full communication. Just like if you order something from Amazon or from Walmart.com, that you want to track your package, right? And that's what they want. They want to know where their stuff is at all times. So and if you have an opinion on that, tell them. Let them know. I plan on talking with Convoy and some of the BS that they're doing. So I got an email this morning from CH explaining their update coming. It will track performance. They're already tracking performance. Shannon, they're just letting you know. But it looks like I got to deal with the driver. So, and explains best performance will be access to better loads, and that's a lot of them have already been doing that. JB Hunt's been doing that. Uber's been doing that. Convoy's been doing that, because they can be picky. Here's the thing. Brokers could not afford to be picky the last couple of years. This year, they're being picky as hell. Canadian broker Rob and I were having this conversation yesterday on the phone. I had my headset on and just doing some miles while he told me some insight that was pretty useful. So, but anyways, I'm going to get off this live stream. Thank you for watching, and if you're coming to the show, be sure to come up and hang out, chat with us. If you feel that I blow you off or I shun you or something, let me know, man. Call me out. I don't want to feel like anybody left out. So, and anyways, thanks for watching. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. So peace.